walk slowly with my suitcase in my hand. The suitcase is big and heavy. I pull it by the handle and hear the small wheels on the floor. I enter the hotel. The lobby is large and bright. I see soft chairs, a big lamp, and a reception desk. The desk is long and made of wood. Behind the desk stands a worker in a clean uniform. I feel a little nervous but also excited. I walk straight to the desk. I put my suitcase next to my leg. I hold the handle with one hand and look at the worker. I say I have a reservation. I say I booked a room for tonight. The worker listens to me carefully. His face looks friendly. I open my bag slowly. I look inside and find my passport. I take it out with one hand. I also take out a paper with the booking. I hold both items and put them on the desk. The worker takes them. He holds my passport and looks at the photo page. Then he looks at the paper. I see his eyes move to the computer screen. His fingers press on the keyboard. I stand quietly and wait. I hear sounds from the lobby, soft music, people walking, a phone ringing. My heart beats a little fast. I feel nervous, but I stay calm. I wait and look around the lobby. I see big plants near the wall. I see a clock above the desk. Then I see the worker smile. He looks at me and says the reservation is confirmed. I feel happy. I breathe out slowly. I take my passport back. The worker gives me a key card. I look at it in my hand. It is small and plastic. I feel it with my fingers. It is smooth and light. I look at the worker again. I ask where my room is. He explains to me in simple words. He says the floor number. He says how I can find the elevator. He says how I can walk from the elevator to my room. I listen carefully. I repeat the floor number in my head. I think about the elevator. I think I can find the room without a problem. I hold the key card in my hand and feel the smooth plastic under my fingers. I look at the worker again and think of the next question. I ask about breakfast. My voice is calm, but I want to be sure. I say I want to know the time for breakfast. The worker nods and looks at me kindly. He says breakfast is in the dining room on the first floor. He explains that the dining room is not far from the reception. He points with his hand to the hallway. I follow his hand with my eyes and see a big sign that says restaurant. I understand it is the right place. The worker tells me breakfast starts at 7 in the morning. He says it continues until 10. I listen carefully. I repeat the words in my head, 7 to 10. I feel safe because I know when I can go. I think about tomorrow morning. I see myself walking into the dining room. I see tables with food. I feel hungry already. I ask if I need a ticket for breakfast. The worker shakes his head and says no. He says I only need to give my room number. I nod and smile. That sounds easy. I will not need to carry extra papers. I put the key card into my pocket for a moment and take my suitcase handle with both hands. I look at the big clock on the wall above the desk. The clock shows the time now. The hands move slowly. I think about how long I can sleep before breakfast tomorrow. I feel relaxed. I know where the dining room is. I know the time for food. I know what I must do. I look again at the worker and smile. I say thank you. He smiles back. His uniform looks very clean and his badge shines in the light. I feel comfortable here. The lobby feels big but not strange now. It feels warm and safe. I take a deep breath and hold the suitcase handle tighter. I am ready for the next question. I stand at the desk and think of my next need. I look at the worker and ask about a taxi. I say I need a taxi to the airport. My flight is tomorrow, and I want to be on time. The worker listens carefully and nods. He asks me what time I need the taxi. I stop for a moment and think. I count the hours in my head. I know the airport is not close, and I want time to check in. I say I need the taxi in the morning. The worker takes a small paper and writes the time. He writes it clearly so I can see. He says the driver will wait for me at the front door of the hotel. I look at the paper and repeat the time quietly. I do not want to forget it. I put the paper into my bag, between my wallet and my phone. I feel safe because I know I will not miss the flight. I ask how long the ride will take. The worker says it takes about 30 minutes, but it can change with traffic. I nod slowly. I think about leaving the hotel on time. I think about the taxi standing outside and waiting. I smile and say thank you. The worker types something on the computer. His fingers move fast on the keyboard. I watch him and feel calm. He looks up and says the booking is ready. I touch the handle of my suitcase and feel the hard plastic. I look at the paper again and then close my bag. I feel prepared. I take a deep breath. The lobby is quiet now. I hear only soft music and a few voices in the distance. My heart feels light because I have a plan. Everything is arranged. I stand still for a moment and then look at the worker again. I know I have more questions to ask. I look at the worker again and ask about the Wi-Fi. I say I need internet in my room. The worker opens a small box on the desk. He takes out a white card. He gives it to me. I look at the card in my hand. On the card I see 2 lines. The first line shows the network name. The second line shows the password. The letters and numbers are small but clear. I read them slowly in my head. I do not want to forget them. I put the card carefully inside my bag in a safe pocket. I close the zipper and touch the bag with my hand. I feel calm. Now I know I can connect to the internet when I am in my room. I smile at the worker and say thank you. Then I ask about cleaning. I say I want to know how it works. The worker shows me two signs. One sign is red and says do not disturb. The other sign is green and says please clean the room. He puts the signs on the desk. I pick them up one by one. I feel the paper between my fingers. I look at the red sign and think of sleeping late. I look at the green sign and think of fresh towels. I understand how to use them. I must hang one on the door. I nod and smile. I put both signs into the side pocket of my suitcase. I know they are safe there. I look around the lobby again. I see the big plant near the sofa. I see two guests walking to the elevator. Their bags roll behind them on small wheels. I hear the sound of the wheels on the floor. I feel that I am almost ready to go to my room too. But I remember one more important thing. I look at the worker again. I want to ask one more question before I leave the desk. I look at the worker and ask about checkout. I say I want to know what time I must leave the room. The worker looks at the computer for a moment. Then he looks back at me and smiles. He says checkout is before 12 o'clock. I hear the words clearly. I repeat the word 12 in my head again and again. I do not want to forget it. I think about the morning tomorrow. I see myself packing my bag before 12. I see myself walking to the reception desk again with my suitcase. I feel calm because I know the rule. I say thank you for the information. The worker nods. His face looks kind and professional. I look at my key card in my hand. I look at my suitcase next to my leg. I know that I have asked all the questions I need. Breakfast time, taxi time, Wi-Fi, cleaning, and checkout. Everything is clear now. I feel light and safe. I take a slow breath and let it out. The air in the lobby feels fresh. I hear the soft music playing above me. I hear quiet voices from people walking past. I look at the big clock on the wall. The hands move slowly, and the time feels calm. I think about my room. I imagine the bed, the table, and the lamp. I feel ready to rest there. I put my hand on the suitcase handle. I hold the key card tight in my fingers. My questions are finished. My plan is ready. Now I can go to my room. I put my hand firmly on the suitcase handle. I look at the worker one last time. I smile and say thank you for all the help. The worker nods and wishes me a good stay. His voice is warm and polite. I hold the key card tightly in my hand. I turn around and start walking across the lobby. My suitcase follows me. The small wheels roll on the smooth floor and make a soft sound. I see chairs with people sitting and talking quietly. I see a big lamp shining above. I walk slowly but with a calm heart. I find the elevator near the corner. The doors are silver and shiny. I press the button with my finger. A small light turns on above the door. I wait and stand with my suitcase. I hear the sound of the elevator moving. I look at my key card again. I read the number of my room. I repeat the number in my head again and again. The doors open with a soft sound. I pull my suitcase inside. The floor is clean and bright. I stand in the middle and look at the buttons. I see many numbers in a row. I find the number of my floor. I press it with my finger. The button lights up. The doors close slowly. The elevator starts to move. I feel the floor under me rise up. I hold the suitcase handle with one hand. I hold the key card with the other hand. I look at the numbers above the door. They change one by one as the elevator goes up. I breathe slowly. I feel calm. I think of the moment when the doors will open. I will walk to my room. I will put down my suitcase. I will rest. I stand quietly and wait for the right floor. The elevator stops, and the doors open slowly. I pull my suitcase out and look around the hallway. The lights are soft and warm. The floor is covered with a thick carpet. My suitcase wheels make almost no sound now. I hold the key card tight in my hand and look at the numbers on the doors. I walk slowly along the hallway. I read each number carefully. My heart beats a little faster when the numbers get close to mine. I stop in front of my door. The number is the same as on my key card. I smile and slide the card into the slot. A green light shows, I hear a click, and the door opens. I push it and step inside. The room is quiet and fresh. I see the bed, the table, and a lamp. I pull my suitcase inside and close the door. I put it near the wall and look around. The bed is large with white sheets and a soft pillow. I turn on the lamp, and the room feels warm and bright. I open the curtain and see city lights outside. Cars move far below. I sit on a chair and see a card with hotel information. I read about breakfast and services, then put it back. I place my bag on the bed and take off my shoes. The carpet feels soft under my feet. I breathe slowly and relax. I open the bathroom door and see a clean sink, a mirror, and white towels. I smile and close it. I sit on the bed, touch the blanket, and feel the soft fabric. I put the key card on the bedside table. I lie back and breathe deeply. I feel calm, safe, and ready to rest. My hotel stay has begun.